The movie begins by showing the atmosphere in an entertainment venue where a man named Shifeng is enjoying a dance performance of 3 beautiful women. However, he noticed the strangeness of the place, especially after one of the female dancers tried to attack him. They were trapping Shifeng, the West Pole Fire Master, because they wanted to seize his fire thumb ring on their master's orders. Because of that, a fierce battle between them was inevitable. However, they were no match for Shifeng, whose strength surpassed theirs. After that, he uses his fire thumb ring to create a magical portal that spawns a giant fire elemental monster. When the giant fire monster was about to launch a fatal attack on the 3 female warriors, suddenly, a man appeared and could easily break the attack. That man was none other than Tao, the master who ordered the 3 female warriors to snatch Shifeng's fire thumb ring. He seems to have strong enough strength to defeat the giant monster. In fact, he managed to kill Shifeng with just 1 hit and snatch the fire thumb ring. He turned out to have managed to collect 4 of the 5 elements rings he had been looking for. The only elemental ring he didn't possess was the golden thumb ring, whose whereabouts were unknown. Tao is very ambitious to collect the 5 elements rings because he wants to get the mighty power to rule the world and live eternally. He needed the golden thumb ring and perfected the 5 elements secret art to achieve this goal. He ordered one of the 3 female warriors, Yuji, to find the golden thumb ring and bring it to him. But before we continue, we want to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Raid is the first game to bring a true console-level experience to your phone. With hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 600 champions blessed with unique skills, you can build your team, develop your champions, and raid your way. So it's new in Raid Shadow Legends. Right now, Raid's running an amazing trick or treat promotion for Halloween where you can win a bunch of real-life and in-game prizes, including $1,000 Amazon gift cards and some of the best epic and legendary Halloween champions in Raid. The best part is that it's all free and super easy. All you need is your Raid player ID. Just download Raid with my link in the description, then head to trickortreat.plarium.com. From there, just enter your details, spin the wheel and get your prize. This special event runs from October 15th to November 5th. So be fast. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen and you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking about a free epic champion, Rector Draft, 200k silver, 1 energy refill and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. Grab it fast now. Click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen. Join the fun in Raid Shadow Legends. The scene then switches and shows a young man named Yiqin, who works as a knife dealer in the market. Yiqin has a stall in the market, and every day, he always works accompanied by his assistant, a young man named Pongde. While selling, Yiqin seems interested in a beautiful young woman named Aju, who is selling oranges. He is not only attracted by her beauty, but he also feels captivated by her sincerity, especially when she gives a fresh orange to a little girl and shows her concern for his father, who is old but still has to work hard. Yiqin then goes to Aju and tries to give her some fresh vegetables as a gift. However, she politely refuses his gift and asks him to pay more attention to his father. At the same time, a man named Gaoge arrived at the market with his men. He is a thug assigned by village officials to collect tax fees from all traders who sell in the market. Seeing his arrival, Yiqin rushed away and avoided Gaoge because he didn't have enough money to pay the tax fees. Even Yiqin still hasn't paid the previous tax fees. Because he kept dodging and trying to run away when he was charged, Gaoge was annoyed and ordered his men to arrest him. Finally, they managed to corner Yiqin at a dead end. Because they were too irritated with him, they threw the axe at him, who was trying to escape. Suddenly, a strange incident occurred as the axe could not hit Yiqin, instead thrown in another direction. Realizing that Gaoge and his men were still astonished by the incident, Yiqin took the opportunity to run away. On the other hand, his father, Laoyang, who saw his son being chased by Gaoge and his men, then approached them and begged them to stop chasing his son. Laoyang then gave Gaoge and his men money to pay the tax fees. However, they felt underestimated because the money was too little. Then, they intimidated him. However, when they treated Laoyang harshly, he didn't resist because he was worried about his son's safety. At the same time, Aju saw Laoyang being bullied by Gaoge and his men, rushed to help him, and took him home. Meanwhile, Yiqin, who managed to avoid the pursuit of Gaoge and his men, suddenly slipped when he passed an old man named Zhang sitting on a wooden cart. Yiqin scolded the old man for thinking that Zhang deliberately threw away the banana peel and made him slip. He was about to hit Zhang for trying to dodge. But unexpectedly, Zhang twisted his arm, causing him to feel pain, and begged to be released. Realizing that Yiqin has a burly body, Zhang offers him to become his apprentice so that he can train Yiqin to become a great warrior. He then tells Yiqin to meet him in Ping'an City if he is determined to change his fate and is willing to become his disciple. After that, Zhang disappeared as if he was no ordinary human. That night, Yiqin finally arrived at his house and accidentally ran into Aju, who was just about to go home after delivering and treating Laoyang. She glared at Yiqin and warned him to care more about his father if he didn't want to regret it later. But he doesn't seem to care about her advice because as soon as he enters the house, he gets into an argument with his father. Upon hearing that, Yiqin became angry and insisted to his father that he would become a successful person so that people would not humiliate and oppress them again. He thought about Zhang's words of being willing to teach him martial arts. Thinking that he would become successful and respected if he mastered martial arts, he decided to go to Ping'an City and meet Zhang. After a long journey, Yiqin finally arrives at Ping'an City. He tries to find Zhang's whereabouts, although the search will be difficult since Ping'an is a large city. Afterward, he entered an entertainment venue, where he saw the figure of a woman from the cubicle in front of him. Unfortunately, his actions were soon noticed by the woman in the shower, who was none other than Guishi, one of the 3 female warriors who was ordered by Tao to help Yuji get the golden thumb ring. Guishi and her fellow female warrior, Xiao Nai, rushed out and managed to corner Yiqin. Xiao Nai tries to attack him with her blade, but the attack didn't work at all on him, who had the spiritual power to control metal elements. Not long after, Yuji arrived and kicked Yiqin out of place. When he was trying to escape from the women who were trying to kill him, he accidentally met Zhang, who had just come out of a tavern in a slightly drunken state. Seeing his arrival, Zhang performed teleportation magic to move them somewhere in an instant. Zhang apparently took Yiqin to the 5 Elements secret temple, where he then tested Yiqin's ability to use his spiritual power to control metal. After proving his skill, Zhang gave the golden thumb ring to him and confirmed that he would accept Yiqin as his disciple on one condition. Yiqin must protect the golden thumb ring from being snatched by those who want to use the ring's power for evil. Zhang then told Yiqin about Tao, who had collected 4 of the 5 Elements rings and had ambitions to rule the world and annihilate humanity if he managed to collect the 5 Elements rings. Knowing this, Yiqin refused his request and tried to return the golden thumb ring to him. Yiqin thought that he would not be able to fight Tao, a master of high-level martial arts. However, Zhang tells him that protecting the golden thumb ring is his duty, as Yiqin is destined to possess the spiritual power of the metal element, so he can use the ring's power. Soon after, Yuji, Guishi, and Xiao Nai arrive at the place and intend to seize the golden thumb ring now in Yiqin's hands. A fierce battle between them was inevitable. Guishi and Xiao Nai seemed to have a hard time facing Zhang, who had a high level of martial arts. On the other hand, Yuji, who was fighting Yiqin, realized something when he saw Zhang's wrist but caught him off guard instead. Seeing Yuji off guard, Guishi took the opportunity to attack Yuji. Guishi and Xiao Nai apparently harbored a grudge against Yuji because their master always had specially treated her and underestimated them all this time. After overthrowing Yuji, Guishi attacked Yiqin, knocking him down from above. Surprisingly, Yuji instead used her teleportation power to save Yiqin. After that, Guishi directly attacked Yuji with her fire magic and managed to fatally wound her. Fortunately, Yuji managed to teleport, so they managed to escape her pursuit. Knowing that Yuji was seriously injured saving Yiqin, he took the initiative to treat her until she fully recovered. The next day, Yuji finally woke up and realized she was already in her place. She approached Yiqin, who was practicing using the spiritual power of the golden thumb ring, and asked him to be careful because she did not want him to damage the black lotus flower that grew above the fish pond in front of her house. The black lotus flower is a plant that has tremendous spiritual power and will only bloom once every 60 years. Therefore, Yuji was very protective of the lotus because it was about to bloom. She asked Yiqin to hand over the golden thumb ring to her, but he was reluctant to give a ring to her unless she was willing to teach him teleportation magic. Because wanting to get the ring for her master, Yuji was willing to teach Yiqin teleportation magic. But unexpectedly, he left her after mastering the teleportation magic. He apparently intends to return to his village to meet his father. Before returning home, he stopped by the market to buy new bracelets and clothes with the gold marbles he got from the black lotus flower while practicing with the golden thumb ring. Elsewhere, Guishi and Xiao Nai meet their master and tell about Yuji, who has betrayed by protecting a young man who has the golden thumb ring. Guishi brought Zhang in front of her master and kept him in their headquarters. Knowing that Yuji had betrayed him, Tao ordered Guishi and Xiao Nai to track her whereabouts and arrest her for carrying the golden thumb ring. Not long after, Xiao Nai found Yuji and fought fiercely with her. Unfortunately, because her condition had not fully recovered, Yuji became desperate when Xiao Nai launched an attack using her ultimate techniques. When Xiao Nai was about to kill her, Tao suddenly appeared at the scene and broke up their fight. Tao expressed his disappointment at Yuji because she had betrayed him. He then orders Xiao Nai to arrest Yuji for the golden thumb ring. Then, he will take her to headquarters and holds her there. Meanwhile, Yiqin, who had just arrived at his house, was very surprised to see his father lying sick. Ju informs that Lao Yang fell ill shortly after Yiqin left the house without saying goodbye to him. He then ordered his assistant, Peng Dai, to find the best healer in town who could treat his father. Yiqin didn't care about the cost because now he had many gold marbles. In fact, he gave some of the gold marbles to Ju so that she would no longer have to struggle to earn a living by selling oranges. But she refuses his gift and reminds him that the most important thing in this world is not wealth but love and kindness. Afterward, Guishi and Xiao Nai, who managed to track down Yiqin's whereabouts, finally arrived at his house and launched an attack on Aju and Pengde, who happened to be there. After that, they took Aju and Pengde hostage so that Yiqin would be willing to hand over the golden thumb ring. However, Yiqin refused to give the ring because he had promised Zhang. When he was fighting Guishi and Xiao Nai, hundreds of blades flew toward them in a rush, killing Xiao Nai. The knives are actually controlled by Lao Yang, who has the power to control metal, just like Yiqin. With his strength, Lao Yang helped Yiqin fight against Guishi and managed to corner her. Suddenly, Tao arrived and used his root control power to kill Lao Yang, Aju, and Pengde right in Yiqin's presence. Meanwhile, Zhang, who realized that Yiqin was in danger, asked Yuji to join forces so that they could be freed from the plant roots that entangled them. When Tao was about to kill Yiqin to retrieve the golden thumb ring, Zhang suddenly appeared and used the power of teleportation to take him away from the place. Zhang apparently takes him to Yuji's residence, where he then asks Yiqin to go back in time and seize the fire thumb ring. With the spiritual power of Yuji's black lotus flower, Yiqin finally returned to the past, just in time for Shifang's fight against Tao. Afterward, Yiqin stealthily took the fire thumb ring as Shifang lay defenseless due to Tao's attack. However, just as Yiqin was about to run away, Guishi noticed his presence and launched an attack on him. Meanwhile, in the present, it turns out that Zhang is fighting against Guishi, who managed to track their whereabouts and defeat Yuji. A fierce battle ensued between them until Zhang finally defeated her. At the same time, Yiqin, who was in the past, was finally able to defeat Guishi after he used the fire thumb ring to summon a fire monster and kill her. However, after returning to the future, he was startled by Zhang, who had been lying defenseless after being hit by Tao. At the end of his life, Zhang tells him to save Yuji, who is now being held captive by Tao. Yiqin, who wanted to avenge his father's death, Aju, and Pengde, then decided to face Tao. Not long after, he finally arrived at the Tao's residence and saved Yuji, who was about to be killed by Tao. Afterward, Yiqin put all his strength into defeating Tao, but Tao seemed to have a much stronger strength than him, so he was overwhelmed. When Yiqin was pressed, an old man suddenly came and helped him fight Tao. By combining forces, they finally defeated Tao. After that, Yiqin thanked the old man for helping and saving Yuji. However, he was very surprised to find out that the old man turned out to be himself, who came from the future. Then, he decided to hand over the 5 elements rings to his future self to be sealed by him so that no one would use the ring's power for evil. The film ends with Yiqin proposing to Yuji to be his wife. The moral that can be learned from this movie is that wealth will not bring happiness because true happiness comes from within us, who are always grateful for all that we have.